Hey, and welcome to the Sunday Drive. We've got a great show in store for you. We're down in La Jolla, California, San Diego County, and we're right on the beach, and it's none other than the LaJolla Concours de Elegance. Great show. It's grown throughout the past year, some incredible cars, and a lot of passion of the excitement of the hobby. Also, we're going to run up the coast to Long Beach. The Verizon Indy cars are running, and it's the Roar by the Shore. So stay tuned. You got a press pass because you're watching the Sunday Drive. We're at the LaJolla Concours. I'm here with Michael Dorvier. He is the executive director for this event. How you doing, Michael?
I'm doing great. Thank you for coming out today.
We're having a great time. So tell me about the history. How did this start? Was this a couple guys having a beer with a napkin and said we should do this right over on the lawn? Or
No, this was so folks got together here in the community. We're trying to do something to get traffic into the village in the winter months. It originally started in January.
Okay.
Of course, it rains a little bit in January in San Diego. It's 13 years. So 5 years ago, when I took over as a chairman, we converted this to a proper concours.
Okay.
And you know, you've got this amazing venue. There was a great car show here in a concours venue.
Okay.
And we figured if we're going to put a lot of work and energy into it, we want to do it right. We want to make it really about an experience. There's 200 volunteers on this field today making this happen. I have a committee of 23 volunteers that also work tirelessly to make this happen. You live in La Jolla, you live by the ocean, you have these amazing vehicles, and it's just a beautiful place to be. So how can we make it a little nicer on a Sunday afternoon?
I've got three of the best judges you're going to find in the industry. And Nigel and Cy and Ed, I didn't think I was going to be able to remember their names. How are you guys doing today?
I'm having a wonderful time.
Boy, what a great show. Just wonderful.
We're doing fine. Great day, great field of cars.
So what do you look for when you look at a car? Do you look for originality? Do you look for the steering wheel hasn't been changed or the knuckle hasn't been changed? Or do you accept some modifications?
You know, when we walk up, we're looking for basically how does the car stand? Is it an actual car? Has it been used? How wonderfully is it done? How original is it? How authentic is it? Because at a concours, the most important thing are originality and authenticity. So first a car has to kind of grab you, and then you look for all of the details to see what's going to make it work. And when everything comes together, that's how we end up with our best of show.
Now, how do you deal with picking on somebody's child, telling them that their ears are too big or their nose is too? Because that's in essence, these owners are really passionate about their vehicles.
They are. They put so much time and effort and investment into it. Yeah, from a judging perspective, you have to be very diplomatic. You would never tell them that your child has big ears.
Exactly. Yourself, the same thing?
Well, yes, indeed, and the kind of judging we do here, as well as at Pebble Beach and other shows that have serious judging, is we focus on originality and authenticity. So it's a very objective form of judging. And then when we get all of our class winners, which we'll do here today, then it gets a little more subjective because they've all been judged as very original or authentic cars. And now, which one of those class winners do you want to pick as best of show to represent the event this year?
That's a tough choice then.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Another factor that plays into it is the elegance factor, because after all, it is a Concours d'Elegance. So if we get into a tie-breaking situation between two cars, there are 3 additional points that can be the tiebreaker, and the basis of that is purely elegance. Which of those 2 cars is the most elegant?
Now here's a subjective question. How do you see the future? Because as you have, everybody's wondering what the millennials like. Is there going to be a 1984 Porsche 911 that could be on the grounds like this? As some of these cars, as the interest is going away for the next generation?
Well, there's definitely a demographic shift of interest that takes place for the different generations, because most of us, we relate back to our dream cars when we were high school students, and those were the posters on the wall, and we said someday we're going to own those. So the future generations are going to be in favor of different cars than were our favorites. And of course, we're moving to a whole new world as far as the automobile. We're going to driverless automobiles, for example. We're going to the electric cars, the hybrids. They're going to be different sorts of automobiles. But we trust that there will be enough of the younger generation that will still be interested in the older cars. They're not all going to be able to be saved. There's too many. But we feel that there will be enough young enthusiasts to save the best of the breed. And then, of course, they'll be interested in the cars of their high school generation.
Yeah. No one ever thought of an autonomous Packard.
Right.
But you know, at the same time, elegance, and it doesn't make any difference whether it's 20s, 60s, or 2017. Elegance speaks for itself. And the wonderful thing is, when you drive or you walk by with little kids, it's amazing how 2 or 3-year-olds, well, as you're pushing the stroller by, you just watch their eyes and they just light up when they see certain cars. And I think historically this is always going to happen. The best is always going to survive.
Couldn't agree more. Well, Ed, Cy, and Nigel, see, I remembered even twice. Thank you for taking the time. I know it's a busy day. I'm here with Bob Cuevas, correct?
Correct.
All right, he's got a 1961 Corvette Fuelie that is just incredible. And you just got done getting picked on by the judges, didn't you?
Well, they're pretty nice. They didn't pick too much. They're probably over there picking me apart right now, but at least they don't do it to my face, so that's good.
There you go. And you got your picnic lunch with you. You're hanging at the beach. How much better is this?
Listen, it doesn't get any better than this. I mean, we're here in California, and people from the East look at this and go, this is what we have every day, so it's beautiful.
Exactly.
Had a great time.
So tell me about your car. How long have you owned it?
I've only owned this one a year. I have a collection of cars, but this car, it was so stunning, I bought it a year ago. It was completely redone. I've kind of taken it to the best level it could be.
Okay.
With the exterior. The undercarriage is ridiculous, so it's very difficult to drive this car, but all the markings are on it from the factory the way it's supposed to be. And I'm in love with this car. This is something I hope to have a long time, and I love the color combination of black with red interior. So it's a beautiful car and it's fun, but I've only wiped it down about 23 times today. So
There you go. So how did you pick this car? Was it something you dreamed in high school, or just saw one,
Well,
knew somebody?
You know, us old guys, we like to have stuff we couldn't afford back then.
Okay.
So the 61, actually my favorite car is the 62, but this particular car, being a fuel-injected car, really caught my eye, and I've had a 62 before. It's the 327 engine, whereas this is the last year of the 283. So it's kind of unique, and it's the last year of that engine style. So, and being a fuel-injected car, and it runs perfectly, which is rare for a fuel-injected car.
All right, great. Thank you for taking the time.
Oh, my pleasure, guys.
Beautiful Sunday. And
It's a great day. Okay.
stay tuned, more to come from the La Jolla Concours. We're down in San Diego. Hey, welcome back to the Sunday Drive. We're here at the La Jolla Concours. I'm here with Chuck Merriman, and he is the lucky gentleman that gets to take care of this beautiful 1915 Packard Dual Six.
Twin Six, 1915 Packard. I think it's the only one out there in existence still.
So what makes it a Twin Six?
So it's a V12, obviously. The engine block, there's two components, 6
Okay.
volts on each side of it.
All right. So that was new, obviously, in that day. And
Yeah, and we were lucky enough to get an electric starter too. They came in about 3 years prior to this being built, so we have an electric starter in this. Still doesn't start like your everyday car though. No, this was keyless entry at its finest.
And you were saying 37 miles per hour, and it seemed like you were doing 137.
We got it up at 37 miles per hour this morning in third gear, and it was probably one of the happiest moments I've had in this car.
So how do you get a job like this, just watching this car?
Well, I'm very fortunate. La Jolla Beach and Tennis Club, they own the car. It's been passed along to the family for generations since its original ownership in 1915 of the car. The club started in 1935, and I've been lucky enough. I'm the guest services manager for the company down there, and I've been with the company for 9 years and very grateful every day.
Very good. So how many years you've come to this show?
This is our first year actually bringing the Packard. The Packard's being featured this year on the concourse, so we're very happy to be a part of it. And La Jolla means everything to us, and this car just is a special place for our company.
So I'm with my good friend Wendy Martin. So you got to be a judge at this event.
Yep, today was at Packard's.
Okay.
And we had 11 different Packards, and we have 130 car field today.
What did you see that stuck out in your mind? Because they're all probably pretty nice.
The biggest thing when you're judging is you're looking for the history of the car, the originality of the car, how long it's been in the family, the patina, the story. If you see a modern battery and an old Packard, that is something you want to watch for, because all of the people who bring down their cars love their cars. They all think they're winners. So when you're really getting down to it, especially being a judge, our job is to be an ambassador to bring people to the show and bring their cars to show people. I mean, there's thousands of people here today, so we want to be careful when we're judging, but we also want to make sure that the car that wins is to a level that is respected in the car world.
Everybody today is wondering, what are kids like? You know, we get these old guys and people like me that dreamed of having a car in high school, and we know what we like, but I'm here with Jenna. So what catches your eye in these cars? What do you like, the historic value, or what car do you dream of?
My dream car has always been a Corvette.
Okay.
Always. They're gorgeous. Even the old ones, they're so pretty. You know, they go fast. I like the sports car look. You know, I just got my first car. It's more of a sporty look coupe.
Okay.
They're gorgeous. Sports cars. I like sports cars.
Now, in the millennial world, there's a lot of kids that don't even want the driver's license that you probably go to school with.
Right.
What's up with that?
Yeah, a lot of kids that I know, they've gotten them like a year late or so, and I'm surprised by that. I'm one that really wants my license, you know. I got my permit on time, so waiting this June I'll get my license, and I'm really excited about that.
So Miss San Carlos,
Yeah.
tell us about that.
So I'm part of CYE. It's Council for Youth Empowerment. So it's a pageant program, and we do a lot of community service. It's more of just getting out there, learning how to talk, and just present yourself well.
I've got my new friend Cindy Lou, and how you doing, Cindy?
I'm doing just great, thanks.
All right. So you've got this car that has been in your family for years. Tell me about it.
My dad originally bought it a year after it was its year. It's a 57. He bought it in 58, and he'd had it in. It's been in the family ever since then. And he drove it. And when I turned 16, he gave it to me.
Nice.
So I got to drive it to high school. It was really fun.
Okay. So when you brought it back to its original life, haven't you?
Yes. I had it restored completely, and now that's what you see right here today. It's really pretty.
So what was the name of this color? I'm an MG aficionado,
It's
but I
called
do not
Glacial
remember.
Blue.
Glacial blue, okay. Because you saw so many that were red, or you saw black, you saw some
Right.
white ones. You know, I don't remember seeing a lot of these, so it must be a low production.
And this is its original stock color.
So how often do you drive it?
Well, it just came out of restoration, so I'm excited to drive it now.
So you
I'm
were
going to be
afraid-
driving a lot.
You were afraid to put it on the lawn?
I know.
Because it looks, as you look through the car, it looks like it's been completely body off. Is that correct?
Yeah, it was. All the way down to the chassis. It was completely restored.
Very good. So lots of childhood memories then?
Yes. High school, driving it to school and back, and college, and drove it to work, and, you know.
And you said you stored it for 20 years?
Yeah, and then I stored it for a while. So the mileage is still low.
Okay. So was it in the garage with a whole bunch of stuff piled on it, and one day you needed your garage space back?
Yeah.
That's a really common story.
Now I got to find space for the garage now to put it back in now.
Exactly. Well, Cindy Lou, thanks for joining us on the Sunday Drive, and thanks for bringing out a really special car with a great story. I like it.
All
Please
right.
come back many
Thank
years
you.
to come. Stay tuned, because we're going to run up the coast. We're going to go see the roar from the shore. It's the Verizon Indy cars running in Long Beach. You're watching the Sunday Drive. Stay tuned. We're in downtown Long Beach. It's the Verizon Indy cars, and you are watching the Sunday Drive. Can you hear it in the background? It's the roar of the shore as the Verizon Indy cars take over the normal streets of Long Beach.
essentially, it's a real shame. The Menard's car was phenomenal. I think we had a car for pole, but Will started backing up everybody, which I don't quite understand why it's the guy that is behind. That's the consequence of the whole problem. So it is what it is. We'll start from last. Hopefully we can have the same fortune as Bode did in St. Pete and repeat a sensational weekend.
Well, eight's not the worst spot. I mean, you're inside the top 10 there. You're in striking distance of the top guys. It's not where we wanted to be. I think the car was a little better than 8 today. If I could have gotten more out of it, but anything can happen in these Verizon IndyCar Series races, and being in the hump car, I think it looks good. I'm feeling pretty comfortable about it. We got to work on the race car. That's our next objective, and I think we get a little bit of work in the morning in the warm-up. I feel like we're going to be able to put something together and have a good race and go for the win.
Nice change for Andretti Autosport on street courses. We've definitely taken the right direction. The whole team's worked so hard, so big thank you to them for putting in the hard work of the offseason, getting a new direction. It's just great to have this yellow and red Andretti Autosport DHL Honda back up, on the sharp end of the grid where we belong. So hopefully we can stay there. It's nice to be up front in Long Beach. This is a special race for me. So it's one we've had a lot of success in. So hopefully we can come back and do that as well.
It was good. We didn't maximize all of our practice potential. I think the Napa Auto Parts car was strong through all 3 practice sessions. We just weren't to the sharp end yet, so it was nice to put it together.
So how did you qualify today?
Yeah, we qualified 6th, so we had a good run there. It's tough out here. It's so competitive and tight right now and stuff. But yeah, I mean, it felt good, so we'll just have to see how tomorrow goes.
Unfortunately, we qualified 9th, so a little bit back there, but these IndyCar races, if you just survive, you can have yourself a good day.
Track record and 3 in a row, by the way, so it was awesome. The car was just a AAA machine. It was just flying, especially through the qualifying. We're able to lay down some phenomenal laps, and it's all about right time. And I have to thank Roger and John Dugan, my engineer, and the entire group number 3, and Chevy as well. We really pushed the limit, and man, it's the right place. The AAA, it's the right place on the number 1 spot, so we're looking good.
All right, practice is done, qualifying's done, the cars are ready to go. So get ready for the Verizon Indy cars at Long Beach. You're watching the Sunday Drive. So qualifying is done, it's now race time. You're watching the Sunday Drive and you got the best pass in town.
After the Indy 500, this is our longest running event, 43 years deep now, and there's a reason that this one is so important to drivers to win, and that's it. It's the history of this place. You know, you can't buy history. Indy's got the most, and Long Beach is right up there. It's second most.
Yeah, no, I think we had the car to win today. So that's unfortunate. I mean, there was no warning, so it's the way the sport goes sometimes.
We'll have better or worse weekends, but you know, as long as we're having fun, doing a good job, and feeling like we're contenders, I'll be happy with what we're doing.
You know, we're proud of the guys. They did a great job. We came up a little bit short there at the end. I was hoping we had something for Bourdais, and then you never know, maybe we have something for Hinch, but just wasn't meant to be. So congrats to Hinch. What a great run by him, and happy that we got our first podium, you know, out of the way. Now we can go chase down that first win.
Car was good, you know, very tough to pass towards the end there. We were pretty trimmed out, so once we got in traffic, you know, it wasn't super easy. And when you're around cars of similar speed, it was quite difficult to get by. So fourth was how it played out. Obviously, a huge congrats to Hinch. You know, I haven't seen how that part of the race played out, but you know, it's good to see him and Honda in winner's circle here.
We could have been able to fight for victory, which is incredible. The Menards car was phenomenal, so all weekend. And you know, in these days, when it doesn't want to smile to you and you keep thinking positive and you keep thinking about, you know, going forward, things start smiling at you. So I'm very pleased with fifth. I think, you know, it's not winning, but at least considering everything, we salvaged a great result.
It was the goal for this team, period. Full stop. We had to get back to winner's circle, and to do it this early in the season and the way that we did, you know, the team was so good right from the minute we rolled off. I cannot thank Trent Peterson Motorsports enough for the preparation, those killer pit stops. You know, we saved enough fuel to do that one extra lap on Ryan and Alex. We got them in the pit sequence, and even though they had their problems, we were already out in front. You know, we fought off Ryan, fought off Alex, fought off Sebastian, and we were able to bring home the win in one of the best races to do it.
So we had a great time at the Toyota Grand Prix of Long Beach. It's always a fun event. Next to Indy 500, this is the premier IndyCar race. So for the Sunday Drive, I'm your host, Mark Perleberg. We'll see you next week.